Hey. I wanted to do some other types of questions. So this reading is all about what's going on at your old job, right? What's going on at your old job? Old job. What's going on at your old job? Let's see. Let's see. Holy Spirit, what's going on at the old job for the collective that's going to see this video? What's going on their old job? That's what we want to know. What's going on? What's going on the old job? So just give us the updates. Holy Spirit, what's going on at the old jobs? What's going on at the old job? Holy Spirit, what's going on at the old job? Just give us a couple of cards. One, got the Six of Cups. Somebody thinking about you at the old job. Magician. Anything else? What's going on at the old job? Last one, Four of Swords. It's the bottom of the deck. Eight of Wands. So overall energy of the Eight of Wands, that's like some kind of swift action. So let me make sure I got that up in the camera there. So it even could be like maybe somebody gonna reach out to you from the old job. And it's gonna be some kind of message, like swift action. Maybe you're gonna hear about something, right? With the Six of Cups, that's like nostalgia or thinking about. So it could be some people thinking about you at the old job. With the Magician, it kind of makes me think like manifestation, right? We know that, but it's also an action card. So, whether or not they're going to take action towards you or manifesting, or they could be looking at you and seeing that you're manifesting something, or they could be trying to do some kind of manipulation if this were in the reverse. But I don't read in the reverse anyway. I just have to go on my intuition. But it could be something like that. Maybe they're seeing you as a manifester, or they want to manifest you to come back, or maybe it was some stuff behind the scenes that did happen. Then we got the Four of Swords. I'm gonna try to keep it there, make sure that it focuses in. With the Four of Swords, some kind of rest and recovery. Like it could have been something going on behind the scenes. Somebody's looking back, and this is the job. That's what we asked for. Like they're looking back and noticing that either they could have done better or they manifested in the wrong ways when it comes towards you. And as well as this needing rest, they might have been trying to manifest a lot of different things. And it could have went in any direction, but with this information that's going to be coming through, it's no way to truly tell like what's going on or what's going to come through when it relates to that. I just want to get a couple of extra cards here just to clarify, and then I'm going to clarify with another tarot deck. Holy Spirit, can you clarify the Six of Cups when it comes to this old job? For the collective that'll see this message, can you clarify the Six of Cups when it comes to this old job? These two wanted to come out, so I'll take them. Okay, we got some angel cards, right? So now this is talking about past, right? Archangel Zachariel. I can never say it. Zachariel. I can never say it right. Lead soul to judgment. So, with that coming out on top of this past thoughts, looking nostalgia, anytime nostalgia, you're looking back, right? let me make sure of my time. You're looking back. So whoever is looking back, and they might be thinking about, it might be some judgment that they looking back at. But you have covered with whoever this is. Then we got Archangel Azrael, like earth protecting. That's a purple color, purple. Somebody might have moles on their hands, feet, or on a spiritual journey. Holy Spirit, just give me at least one card to clarify this magician. This one wanted to come out. Any other cards to clarify this magician when it relates to old job? All right. So we got the stomach upset. This is that manifestation. So somebody was manifesting something at the old job in a negative way. So we got this stomach upset. And anytime the stomach is upset, it's like something going on. Somebody is nervous. It's their solar plexus energy. Somebody could have been trying to work on your soul, your personal will. Difficult process, maybe trying to cause you some difficulty on the job. And with that judgment card, they're looking back on it. But also you got the Archangel card, Aniel, which is God has answered. So you moving forward. And God answered and got you out of there. It's a good thing it's the past energy. Let's just take this since it came out. Highly spiritual. The vibration, clear with the divine angelic guidance. That's the 397 and 297. You have completed a major phase or cycle. Yeah. So even though all of that was going on, you still moved forward. We got the 9494 and the 94449. That's teaching, benevolence, a sign of well-being, betterment. No matter what was going on, it's still is on and popping for whoever is viewing this message, looking back at some where an old job is looking at you. Holy Spirit, can you give me a card or two to clarify the Four of Swords when it comes to this old job for this collective that's going to see this message? These wanted to come out. That's too many. Holy Spirit, just give me one or two, maybe two at the most at one time to clarify. Okay. Ringing in the ear. Left ear or right ear. Left ear is the spirits, a sign of divine processing of emotions, guidance, call to pay attention. So looking at that, it's like that rest. So they was getting some nudges. And it seems like you might have been getting some nudges as well. They was probably getting some nudges to stop doing whatever this is, because now they need some rest and recovery, and they likely going to need to have some other issues going on, because for the simple fact is the things that they was doing behind the scenes, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do that. Holy Spirit, one more card just to further clarify. Just one more card to further clarify. Just ringing in the ears. Just make it one, Holy Spirit. One card. Okay, two. I'll take the two. Let's see what we got here. Oak leaf, strength and individuality and resilience. Yeah, they in the need for rest at this time, because with that oak leaf, you had very much so very strong. You had individuality, and you were very resilient and persistent. I would say resilient against what was going on. And this also came out again, the moles on the hands and the feet. It didn't actually come out, but it was on the bottom of the deck. But this time it came out. You're on a spiritual journey, and they didn't realize that you were on a spiritual journey. Bottom of the deck, eyes, speaking things that words can't say, mind can't comprehend. So you can see and you can understand. And you had a mental capacity to truly understand a lot of things beyond what people thought on that job. And they just did not realize it until they continue to do something. Now they need rest. Because not only have you been on a spiritual journey, consistently moving towards growth, everything that you have gone through and experienced, you've been doing it for your spiritual journey. But others did not realize you were on a spiritual journey. And this is all about old job. At the old job. In old jobs, they didn't realize. They didn't realize that they was up in your business, up and doing things to you, not realizing. They don't realize you're spiritually gifted. So you saw it. And not only that, you protected. We got Archangel, Archangel, Archangel out here 3 times. Yeah. And very much so, I will say, hearing and seeing and feeling and sensing got a lot of those clairs. And see, when they was doing all of this stuff, they was getting that stomach upset. Their stomach was hurting. They was having some problems, whether that was nerve problems, whether that was stomach issues, whether that was sicknesses and physical illnesses and different things like that. They might have started to be upset. Different things was going on, and they didn't get it at first. Not at first, but this is just saying that this was definitely in past jobs. They didn't get it at first. Maybe when they met you on this job, you might have brought back some nostalgic type feelings, some youthful type feelings, some feelings that, you know, from a younger time. Or they may have looked at you in a youthful way as somebody that they could manipulate, control, or take advantage of. And soon, they saw that they would not really be able to do what they wanted to do, because they didn't realize that God had answered their prayer. Because you got the archangel faith, God has answered. You were an answered prayer to be there on the job. Somebody that actually could have had longevity at the job. And this is past jobs. All right, let's go on. Holy Spirit, can you further clarify the Six of Cups when it relates to this old job for the collective? At least one card. One card to clarify for old jobs for this Six of Cups. Can you further clarify? Holy Spirit, thank you. Give me one card at a time. Can you clarify? Something flipped, but it is not flipped up. Holy Spirit, can you clarify? Here we go. The King of Pentacles. Make sure I get it in there. Grounded energy. Grounded energy. Master. So now this is placed to clarify this Six of Cups. So when you started there, you didn't start on a level that would, you know, what most people would say like is a low level of whether that be knowledge, stability, just you, like overall you had some level of success in the field or whatever you were doing. Even if it was a newer job, you had some success in your job, and you knew your job. You knew your job, but you had some kind, maybe a youthful energy about yourself. Like I said, something was nostalgic. Can you further clarify the King of Pentacles when it relates to this old job for the collective reading? Or what is the old job thinking about of the collective? One more, just clarify the King of Pentacles. Okay, we got a card that flipped up on us. Let me put this here because I was moving it around. Oh, right, that is the Ace. Let's make sure I get that in there. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, so I think people thought, or, you know, maybe this was their thoughts, that you had money. That you had money, that you were a very grounded, stable person. Or that maybe you had different modes of income or different ways to make money, and that you had an ace when it comes to making money. What's the bottom of here saying? Even though I'm gonna move forward, Chariot. Yeah, they seen that you was moving. You was moving. You had your own motion going on. Your own motion, highly determined, lots of willpower, very much so controlled and wanting to be successful. That's Cancer energy, a very loving energy. They may have saw you as very watery, very giving, very loving when they saw you. Holy Spirit, let's continue to clarify. Can we clarify this Magician a little further, Holy Spirit? Can we clarify this Magician when it comes to this old job and what they're thinking about the collective now from this old job? This one wanted to come out. Let's take it. Let's see what that is. Ooh, the Lovers. So, the Lovers. So, when it comes to Magician and the Lovers, ooh, let me put this. I always forget. I get caught up. I get caught up. Like, let me make sure that I put that up there, that it's seen, that it's not just me saying what it is, right? With this Magician card and with everything that came out, now that could mean a few different things. It could, with this Magician, and we already said that this is really more like a magician in reverse. Somebody that was pulling the strings behind the scenes to kind of get you off balance. I would say off balance, to get you out of this loving energy. And that could be due to either feeling like you have a relationship, or they don't know if you have, or not wanting you to have a relationship, or maybe knowing or have seen something on the job when it comes to somebody maybe wanted to be your lover or liked you on the job. That's possible. I think I'm gonna have to do another reading and go into a little further into that too, but not right now. For now, we're gonna look at that. And it's like somebody behind the scenes, you know, could have kind of like, maybe they did like you. Maybe they felt like maybe you were going to be able to find a great lover or find love on the job. And so if they don't want that to happen, which it seems like, it's like, I'm going to do whatever I can do to mess it up. What's on the bottom here? Five of Wands. Ooh, okay. Look, Five of Wands, Five of Wands, Five of Wands. Competition. Now, whether you got some single people on the job that was competing for the same person, or just competing with the fact that they don't want you to have somebody, or they don't want nobody looking at you, it could be more like that. Like, I don't want nobody looking at you. But with the lovers, they might have known somebody that liked you on the job. And that's why it's like, don't tell nobody else who you like on the job, because those people can be just as jealous. I don't care how much they smile in your face, they'll wreck it. And if you like somebody on the job, your goal should be to try to befriend them, talk to them, and be honest. Not so much so that you lose your job. Don't get upset to that point. If you tell them that you like them, as long as you don't ever approach them no more on it. If they turn you down, let it go, move on. But don't tell nobody else, because other people will mess it up, make it even worse. But whatever the case, somebody could have been competing for some attention. Even if it's like, and I think competing for love, whether it's lovers or not, might have been competing for love at the same time. Maybe thinking that you was going to get it before them. With that Five of Wands on the bottom, it was some kind of competition. You might have not known about it. It might have been a one-sided thing. I'm going to take that and leave it there, because I want to remember that, right? Holy Spirit, can you further clarify this Four of Wands? Clarify the Four of Wands when it relates to this old job. Clarify the Four of Wands. Holy Spirit, can you clarify okay. This one said, I'm out. Five of Pentacles. You put it up here. I tend to forget to do that. Let me hold it up there. Five of Pentacles. Isolated. Yeah. Yeah, that it's like somebody wanted some kind of isolation for you, some lack. Wanted you to kind of lose your money, things like that. Definitely was hoping for that. And it's as if you might have picked up on it. Yeah, hold on. Let me read. No, Swords. Yeah. It's like they need some rest after all of this. They need some rest after it. Because with all what's going on, they need rest after doing what they did. This might have been what they wanted for you, which is this Five of Pentacles, which is wanting you to be isolated, to have lack, or, you know, a lack mindset, or poverty, or just being sad and left out. Wanted you to be left out. This is what they wanted, you to be left out. But it looks like this is actually where they are now, what they're feeling. And they knew the whole time. They were getting some intuitive nudges, and you were too. A lot of ringing in the ears was going on, for whoever this resonates with. But you had this oak leaf energy that you was too strong for all of that. And with the moles on the hands and the feet, let me read this fully. You had too much tenacity, intelligent, and the ability to complete tasks, even on your worst day. Any moles on the feet, spiritual journey, consistent movement towards your growth. No matter what was going on, you still was using it as energy to keep moving forward. And you noticed it. Somebody might have picked up on that. And now some people or whomever that this is relating to at the old job is literally this what you want for somebody else, which is for them to be in lack, to not have anything, to be isolated, maybe even be isolated on the job and continue to be in that way where, you're isolated, you're in lack or poverty, or you don't have enough, especially when you came to the job as an ace. You didn't come to the job like lacking. You're a king when you came to the job, meaning you were mastery of the job. You were able to find more money in the field, and you had other aces to come in, like aces within any money situation. You had other aces. The bottom here is the Queen of Swords. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna pull anymore with the Queen of Swords. So overall energy of the Queen of Swords is very intelligent, very sharp-minded, very logical, very logical, very, very logical. And that's the overall energy. Is, you may get some messages coming through that yeah, you were in this energy of very much so logical, sharp-minded, very intelligent, and that message is going to be coming through. It could be coming through for somebody. Somebody could be telling you, like, when you were on the job, you had it. You had what we looking for, even though you may not be on that job anymore, you had it. And there was somebody trying to, like, literally make you drop that energy off, but you never did, because you were already on a spiritual journey. You came in as the King of Pentacles, very, very grounded, knowing your job, knowing the job. You had an ace in other ways and modes of income. That could be businesses, anything like that. You had somebody that when they first saw you, they had this great feeling of nostalgia and actually maybe wanted to build some kind of friendship or something like that, more stable. But then what eventually happened is somebody wanted to either take that from you or see you kind of break down a little bit. Or they noticed that somebody saw you as a possible love interest and they got jealous. They started competing. That inner turmoil within them started to turn, instead of being like, oh, this could be somebody I can make a connection with, a friendship with, possibly in the future, to now I want to manifest something negative because I want the attention. I'm competing for this extra attention. I want them to be left out. With the Five of Wands competing, they wanted you to be left out. But at the same time, they started having feelings. They started getting sick and ill. As soon as they started doing certain things behind the scenes, they started feeling sickness and ill. I can't say for sure that somebody, was affected extremely, but whatever the case, they feel it. They feel it and they know. And they already had a strong knowing, and they realized after the first few times that this is not working. This person is strong. This person is on a spiritual journey. And I want them to be in this lack. But you're never in that lack. Even if you leave the situation, you were already in movement with the, what else came out? What did we look at? With the Chariot energy. So, yeah. I'm going to get one more just to further clarify. I'm going to end the reading right there. I think you're going to be getting a message letting you know that you were very intelligent. You had a very much so a smart, intelligent mind. And that's going to come in soon. And with those wands, that swift movement and action, you also are this fiery person. Wands. The Eight of Wands. This message is coming in. Somebody is getting ready to tell you something about that. The other part, another Queen of Pentacles. Not only the Queen of Swords, they saw you as the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. What else we got? The Page of Swords, real young and youthful. Like, you had a lot going on, and then you also got this Cups, Ace of Cups. So somebody was looking at you as if you was getting ready to come into love. This 10 of Pentacles is the last one at the bottom. Yeah, they saw you having a legacy. They saw you having a legacy with that 8 of Swords. They felt trapped. They felt trapped being around you. Just being around you made them feel trapped. And that's it. That's the end of the reading. This is for the old jobs. What they thinking about you. This right here. All right, y'all.